Yo.
So, well, I went to the doctor this week and he told me that I was going deaf, and I haven't heard from him since.
Well,
Whoa! TMI.
I see your lips moving, but is my headset on?
It's on your head.
Oh man, that was terrible. Let's never do that again.
Yeah, I don't know how he does it.
Yeah, I don't know either. You know, it's yeah, Dave has a gift. Anyway, Dave can't be here tonight, but it's Thursday, and that means one thing in our crowd, that it is Figure Action Night. I'm your host, Extra Zero, and joining me tonight is the usual cast of characters. Again, we are Figure Action, and we come to you live every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Pacific Time. Maybe a little late. But
9 p.m.-ish.
Yeah. You can find us here on YouTube. We're coming soon to Anchor FM. Make sure you hit the like button if you like what we're doing. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you want to see when we put out new content. And as always, hit that notification bell to see when we put the content out. Anyway, just to run down the line, see how everybody's doing. We'll start out with my buddy Partsformer. Matt, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. I'm off tomorrow, so that's always good. I have every other Friday off, so
really
some of these shows on Thursdays I'm happier than others because I don't have to go the next day.
By happy, do you mean drunk?
I don't usually I cut off. I don't usually eat or drink much after 8 o'clock. So during the week anyway.
Discipline.
Yeah, you won't. If you see me with a cup down here, it's usually just hot water because it's cold as balls down here, like cold balls, like not normal balls walking around, but like if you have your balls cold.
You need like a little space heater. I've got like one of the infrared ones.
I have one, but that costs extra money to run, and fuck that.
Man, you are cheap.
I am. I say it every show.
You could get an electric blanket and put them.
No, that costs money too.
Yeah, that costs money too.
You think Uncle Scrooge built the money pit running electric blankets? No.
Curse me, cutes.
Blather skates. Wrong character.
It's all in the spirit.
I know. Nightwing and Raid's iced balls.
That's on Starbucks' menu, I think.
Is it?
Yeah.
It comes with the what is it? The caramel vanilla bean latte. You get a nice side of iced balls.
Yeah, that's the one. That's called. If you look in the menu, order order your scrote don't float, and then you can get right.
Scrope your float.
Yep.
Man, where the hell are we going with this stuff?
To hell.
In a handbasket.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it'll be fun because you guys will be there to hang out with me.
Yeah, we'll have lots of company. Don't worry about it.
Next up, we got Mr. Joe Crab. How are you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing all right. Honestly, a little. I'm depressed. I've been trying to get these NECA turtles in Target for the last 3 weeks and 6 different Targets, and no luck.
Is it a full army out hunting
for the 4 sets, and I've been trying to get the other 2 for 2 weeks now. So,
did you change the display above you?
I did. Which one? Yeah, I did.
Like the top shelf.
Yeah,
very top shelf.
Decepticons?
Yeah. Well, the Decepticons and then like the MPP-10 and Megatron.
He honestly doesn't remember.
Yeah, I moved everything. I don't keep it. Maybe every couple of months I kind of move everything around.
Looks good. Looks really good.
100% satisfied.
I dig the ARC shelf. That's really cool.
Yeah, that's Toy Stages from the Repo label Toy Hacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get a couple more of them.
Did you have to cut that, or was it measured to fit the Billy?
I had to cut they come with like a bend in it, so you can kind of like fold it, which is not spaced right. So I had to kind of bend it my way, and then I had to trim about like an inch off the top of it to get it to fit in there.
So pretty close.
Pretty close.
Nightwing also wants to know why you have the shoddy Enterprise from the 2009 movie.
Because if you're gonna have all the Enterprises, you have to have that one.
Touche. So Ed, there's your answer. Looks good. What's like the thickness on those backdrops? Are they like a board, like a press board?
It's like really heavy cardstock. It's pretty heavy duty. So it's not real thick like cardboard, but it's pretty sturdy. So like I said, it has an already fold into it, so you can set it up with that little bit of an angle, and it'll freestand. It won't fall over or anything like that.
I was thinking about getting something made with the cardstock I got from Walgreens. That since Dave can't be here tonight, he can be here in spirit. But this stuff is like, well, I mean, you felt it. It's really, really heavy duty board.
It's pretty much like that.
Yeah, and Walgreens, their print center, it's really cheap. You can get like 50-60% off coupons.
I've been meaning to do that with like the Dragon Ball stuff, like getting the little cubes printed out for my Detolfs.
Planet Namek.
And I think I've been trying to do that for like the last year, and I'm lazy, and I just keep putting it off. One of these days, though, I will do it.
That's like with my shelves. I've been like trying so hard to get everything set up. It's having the time to do it all. It's like you just want to like appreciate a new thing, get it on the shelf, and then you're like, I have so much crap to do.
I bought all the lights to finish all the billies, and then I redid all my shelves here that you can't see. And the lights probably sat here for like 3 months before.
That's why I'm looking forward to getting that done. I guess I'll have to invite you over when I get all that stuff, and we can assess it because I want to get my billies lit.
Yeah, I actually have some extra ones, so I can bring some over someday.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Up next, you know him, you love him. You probably clicked on some of his videos this week. T-Man 978, how you doing? I see you've got one of those new Siege toys in your hand.
Yeah. Hi, everybody.
You suck.
I was so jealous watching those reviews. And then up next, you got the new Prime. I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, I still haven't done the review. I've been holding out.
Now, of the three, is Soundwave still your favorite?
Yeah. I don't know. Soundwave and Optimus, kind of a tie. My only issue with Optimus, I have two issues with Optimus. One, the plastic used on Studio Series is different than Siege.
Yeah.
So it's like kind of flexible. So these tabs on his legs don't stay tight together. So if you're fiddling with the feet, you're gonna dislodge the legs a little bit. And I don't like the way his shoulders, they look cool when he's just standing there, but the way the shoulders move these things right here, I hate those. And when you point the arm straight, his body looks really weird.
I still think it's a really good looking sculpt though.
Yeah, I definitely like all the different colors in the legs, the shins.
Wow.
And he just looks really athletic.
Yeah.
Even though he's a robot. I can't explain.
His backpack looks awful like the Siege Optimus. Are they like a similar transformation?
Far different.
Far different. Wow.
Yes. Really, really different. I can't think of what it transforms like. The way it transforms, some of it reminds me of Classics Optimus more than Siege Optimus.
Yeah.
That thing's almost got like third-party level engineering in some of it, doesn't it?
Yes, it's definitely. All of these, Soundwave, Starscream, and this Siege Optimus, they feel like third-party figures. Like,
really?
Normally, Hasbro is held back in some type of way. I just feel like they gave it their all to these, but they had to still work with the plastic that they can work with.
Right. I mean, at least Siege has good plastic, but I've noticed with the Studio Series, like they're doing stuff like putting pins in and screws, and there seem to be a lot less hollow pieces on Studio Series.
Yeah, this Optimus has zero hollow pieces at all.
Yeah.
There's no hollowness. I thought the legs were going to be hollow, but it is zero hollowness at all. It's amazing.
The one thing Studio Series doesn't have is ankle tilt. Like, that's not a given on Studio Series.
Yeah. This Optimus and all the the Voyager Optimus is so far. Do you have ankle pivot? But like you said, not all of them. Like the way this looks, it looks like it should have ab crunch, but it doesn't. But it has those hips I love where the crotch is 3 segmented pieces. But like Joe did today. Oh no. Did you do that today, Joe? I went to 3 targets today, and none of them had the turtles except one of them had this set right here.
That's one I need.
You can make Joe's dream come true.
Want me?
No.
Yeah, I mean,
Dream.
I think that's going to be the hardest one to find, to be honest. Just people with the Fig Art one.
Yeah, I'm shocked that this. I was like, of all the turtles to be there, I was shocked that Shredder is here. That's nuts.
Real quick, let me show you this picture.
How does he look in hand? I know you haven't taken him out yet.
All right, can you see that?
Yeah, that's what I saw today.
Well, so when we got the notice from Arthur that they were in stock, this is the White Marsh Target at what? Probably like 11 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, it was early morning. Well,
What time did you get there? You were there.
I got there at 5 o'clock, almost on the dot.
5. Yeah. So between then, a matter of just several hours. Boom.
6 or 7 hours. Yeah, that's my picture I took when I got there.
This was today.
This was yesterday.
No, this was yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah, yesterday.
Oh, yesterday.
Yeah.
Did you ask anybody about what they had in the back, or did you just kind of?
Well, I mean, they were all sitting right out there. I can't imagine anybody would have gone out.
I asked to go look in the back, but when I was out going around Lancaster, and I went to 3 different targets. The last one I went to, they had one of the Mikey sets on the shelf, so I figured maybe they're actually in the building. They're here somewhere, and I had the guy go in the back and look, and I said, "Can you see if you have any more of these turtle sets?" He came back out and he said, "I don't see any Ninja Turtles, but there's some Incredible Hulks and some Jack figures back there."
God!
And I'm like,
those are comparable.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Sure. The Incredible Hulk was at least green.
At least the NECA distribution seems to be like pretty even nationwide. It's not like they're just hitting one part of the country; they're hitting like everywhere. OK Guard in the chat says they've got them in Vegas. So
I asked the lady today, did they have more in the back, and she was like, it's a third party, just distributor person, and whatever they have is out there.
Yeah, it's my understanding. Like a NECA rep comes in and is responsible for stocking everything. But
somebody told me they weren't doing that anymore.
Really?
I guess they don't know.
Or they haven't switched over yet. I'm glad, not kind of glad. I am glad to see NECA finding success with Toys R Us being closed, because like when Toys R Us was around, NECA didn't exactly have I don't recall those sections ever really being up to date. They either just had stuff or they didn't. And it wasn't like it ever moved. It would sit there for a long time, and it didn't really move until it went on clearance. And then they would put stuff out like months after it was released. Like you'd see NECA stuff get released on BBTS and Entertainment Earth, and then like several months later, they'd be like, "Oh, Pacific Rim's been out of theaters for like 6 months." They would have like their Gypsy Dangers, and then a lot of them. But I think at Target they've been doing a really good job of making sure that the section's taken care of, well kept. I know there's controversy with the ambassador program, but like I said, the NECA section's always, I do see the same thing that Kevin Womack sees. Kevin came to my neck of the woods this past week looking for this turtle, and he's like, every time I come here, the fucking cart's parked in front of the NECA section. I'm like, yes, yeah, they do that.
That's new though. I don't know why they started doing that. The Target I've been going to recently has been horrible. It's been looking like Kmart
or Walmart.
Yeah, that's what I've been running into a lot. Yeah. The one in Christiana, Delaware is not bad. It's somewhat neat, but it's just really low.
Wait, did you just use Delaware and not bad in a sentence?
What's that?
Did you just use Delaware and not bad in a sentence?
Tax-free shopping. You got to give them that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but that's like.
Pay that 6%.
That's like putting makeup on a pig.
Some people are lonely. I mean,
That's true. Lonely. I'm just gonna go shopping in Delaware.
He was gonna say, "Hey, don't judge where I go shopping."
But my experience in Delaware was going to a flea market. My buddy of mine went to Salisbury. I don't know. Do you know about the big flea market over there, Joe?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So my experience was there was a porn shop in that flea market, and the only thing that I don't know if I told this story on the show or not, but the only thing that they had to censor, like the penetration and the gratuitous parts of the DVD cases in the display window, were like the sticker stars that a teacher would put on like your paper, like, hey, you got it, hey, you get a star.
Mhm.
That was like on like some dude's schlong, and it didn't cover the whole thing because it's like at some point they ran out of stars. And then right across from where you can see this, there was a really bad SpongeBob taking his pictures with kids. Like his nose looked all funny. He had green eyes. SpongeBob himself was like a beige color. And then next to that, you could get your own personal grill made. And not like a grill that you grill food on. Like, we're talking like a grill for your teeth. And like,
I'd rather the food kind.
I've never seen like I mean like there are like some people in Delaware that were like, hey, this is gonna hide my missing front tooth. I look like Flava Flav. No.
We love all of you people from Delaware.
Great combination of ghetto and redneck hillbilly.
If Dave were here, he'd be like, just lost the Delaware demographic.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds like Patapsco.
Storm Collectibles moves production to Delaware. Well, how am I doing?
How are you doing?
I'm doing. It's been a busy
We
week.
miss you.
I know. I wish I could have been here last week, but duty calls. It's been really busy at work, busy with my family. So for those that don't know, I have an ill grandmother, and trying to coordinate care for her. So be 100% transparent with everybody. So I'm going to try and be here for every show. But if I am missing, been trying to do my part with my family and take care of someone who's really important in my life, and make sure she gets all the love and care that she needs. So, there will be some nights here and there where I unfortunately won't be able to make the show, but just so everyone knows, I do wish I could be here. And but otherwise, it's things have been going okay with the house, and very thankful to have a good situation here, and a very supportive girlfriend, and very thankful for her, and friends that have been really supportive with this. And you just dropped your screen. But not to get too sappy, I do appreciate everybody that's been there, that's had offered some words of support. It means a lot, and I just want to let you know I'm very thankful. But just trying to keep a positive attitude, I think, is the best thing to do. Talking to my friends, having that support structure, and just getting by and getting through it. So, but yeah, it's been as far as like toys, it's been been kind of an exciting week for me. I've got some stuff lined up.
Let's turn this around and go crazy. Zero, what did you get this week?
Oh,
go right into it.
So yeah, I'm unloading a couple things, and I could do it. And Hanny from Agabus twisted my arm, and so I have the limited edition Constructor, and it's I can't wait to get rid of my Unite Warriors Devastator, because I can get like $200 for Devastator, and this guy,
bad.
Yeah,
I like that pose.
This guy is so cool. Like the Zeta ones, they don't have this feature. The fucking barrel spins, man.
Wait, do that again.
And he has like this is the only chrome part, save for like the like pistons. They're all chromed. And like the other thing I like too is he comes in a box where he's like ready to combine, and he comes with all the add-on parts. And God, man,
There's like zero reason to break that apart into Constructicons. It's just,
no, there is zero reason. Like this thing is just it's absolutely, as Ben from Ben's Collectibles will say, it is glorious.
Glorious.
And
Ruddy glorious.
Ruddy glorious. And he holds together better than the Bruticus or the Superion's about the same, but just like little things in the arm, like when you move the arm, I don't know if you can see that, like these pieces and the pistons move, and the thigh shifts too when you move that. It's like, man, this is like, when you get it in hand, like the pictures don't really do it justice. Like in the pictures, I think he looks a little skinny, but like when you get it in hand, it's like, man, this thing is this may very well be my favorite third-party piece. And I now see like why people covet their Devastators so much. So yeah, I want to thank Hanny for getting this to me. I want to send a big screw you to the United States Post Office for taking so long, because I do appreciate that Hanny sends everything out priority, and they certainly did not prioritize getting this guy to me. But yeah, I gotta finalize the sale of my Devastator and a couple other things, and he'll be a wash. But God, is it cool to have this in my collection? He looks great next to Bruticus.
Just looks great, period.
Yeah. And it was funny too, because like Hanny hit me up and he's like, "Hey, I got Double Evil back in stock." I was like, "Oh yeah, hey, I already got Double Evil." Because I had asked him about it, and that's another thing too that's great about Hanny is like if he knows you're looking for something, he'll remember you. And so I really highly recommend shopping with Agabus, supporting a small business. I got the Zeta down thrust from him around my birthday to complete my Superion. And at the time I was like, "Are you getting Double Evil in?" And he's like, yeah, I'm getting them in. And I just didn't add it to the cards, trying to get the two shipped together. And he was, he sold out of them pretty quick. And it was no biggie. He's like, "Oh yeah, sorry man, I didn't put one aside for you." It's okay. I got one from Eddie from Toy Dojo. Because again, Eddie's a great dude too. If you can shop for Toy Dojo, definitely recommend them. But yeah. So yeah, he hit me up and he's like, "I have more Double Evils in." I was like, "Yeah, I'm good." And he's like, "I got that limited edition Constructor too." And we get to talking, and I was like, "Oh god damn it." So, yeah, you'll say that's how that happened.
We're not sponsored.
We aren't sponsored, no. But good dude. Check him out. I know he's on Facebook. You ever have any questions about what he's got or has in stock, I recommend hitting him up or emailing Agabus. And also, I think they're going to be out at TFCon. So if you see him, if you're in the LA area and you see him at TFCon this weekend, be sure to hit him up. Really solid dude. Great customer service. He'll definitely take care of you. He'll get you your stuff out fast. So really recommend him. And then also I was in Walmart and I got this little dude, and he's made out of the same plastic as Siege, which is crazy. So yeah,
maybe
I think
that'll be a running change. I hope.
For at least for Devastators, he's got to hold up.
Oh yeah.
So building two Devastators, but one's really cheap. Oh shit, he's got a cloth cape.
Yeah.
And you're smelling him.
He's probably got the neck of smell.
You might want to turn your camera off if it's going to go any further.
Oh yeah. When he has the salt packet on his butt.
Okay, Guard posted a question in the chat. He said, "Random question, guys. What?"
I think he means shelves.
I think shelves. So if you mean shelves. Yeah. So I'm like Joe. Joe and I both have Billy shelves, but I also have a few Detolfs. I think Matt, aren't you Detolfs?
I have two Detolfs. I will say that here's my quick dollar opinion on that. I want to switch to Billy's because I think there's more space, there's more depth, and it's all overall a better experience. Well. Yes. Okay. Physically, there's less depth, but I think
you're not restricted by
more bang for. It gives you more bang for your buck, I think, because the Detolfs, you're struggling to make anything deeper stand out. That is what she said. But with the detolfs,
So to
like
speak.
here's what the thing is with the detolfs. If you're gonna get a detolf, I would feature like here's mine. That is way too crowded for my shelves. Like I don't like that. It's just there out of necessity. I think the detolfs are good to feature one or two figures per shelf. Any more than that, you're overcrowding. So I would say Billies are the way to go.
You know what? What we'll
That's my
do
opinion.
is I know you guys have been wanting it. After we get through the what'd you get, I'll take this guy back and we'll do a little bit of an in progress tour of my setup.
Sounds good.
So, all right, to keep it moving, Matt, what did you get this week?
Last Friday, I knew this guy was coming. I ordered him from eBay at a fairly decent price, but I got me a little Prowl, a little New Age Harry. That was purely off the recommendation of a one T-Man 978. I was originally put off by him because of the scaling issue with other Legends figures, and after messing with him for a week, I can tell you for sure that I don't care. He is good enough.
Realize the errors of your ways.
I'm going to kick you. Let me check.
Bring Nate Simmons back.
Bring back Nate.
But
Little Prowl is awesome. Like if you have a Legends collection and you're worried about the scale not being right, it really doesn't matter. Like he's excellent. So that was most of the week went with just him. On what was that? What did I say? Monday night, I was on Hasbro Pulse, and I was like, you know what? I didn't pick up the Battle Droid when I saw him at Target because I got a few others. So I thought I'm going to go on there and get the Battle Droid, the Black Series Battle Droid. So I ordered him 10 o'clock, 10:30 Monday night, and he showed up today. So I got the Black Series Battle Droid.
Nice.
I will say too that it was just good timing on my part because I went on Pulse, I ordered him, and was done. You know, I have the free shipping because I pre-ordered the Ecto 1. So that was that. And then the next hour right before I went to bed, I saw a post where, hey, everybody, the Hasbro Pulse finally put up the new wave of Black Series. So apparently, like, I went on there and grabbed them right as it was. If I'd have done it an hour beforehand, it wouldn't have been up. It's just weird timing. Like, really
it was like fortuitous.
Yeah, it just like I didn't even realize it was a thing that everybody was scrambling for all of a sudden, and I just happened to wander in and grab it and walk away. It was between him and the Minban Han, but I feel like the people are probably going to troop build with this guy, so we might end up being able to get in the long run. The Han though looks pretty good. I might end up picking him up. So I got that, and then heads up to anybody that Target hunts. My Target had a bunch of Black Series and Marvel Legends on clearance for $10.
Huh.
So I ended up picking. I have the Leia from Empire Strikes Back, but I ended up picking up the Target exclusive Leia, the Bespin Escape. Really, because I mean, she comes. This is what she comes with. She literally has like a jumpsuit and a rifle, and that's it. There's just not a whole lot to her. So for $10, it's a good deal. But the face is amazing. If anybody's seen this Leia in stores, like that, Figure Arts either get cheaper. I don't know.
I think there's something to be said about Fig Arts and their price. I mean, they're made out of good materials, but when Hasbro's starting to step on their toes, I mean, there's certain things with Fig Arts that I think that they ultimately do better, like with joints and all. But
sure.
But when the techniques that used to be like, well, Fig Arts is digital face paint. They can't really tout that anymore when it's coming like a regular thing for $20 toys.
And they're giving them new articulation.
Mm-hmm.
Right, with the butterfly, with Mace.
Butterfly and
all in the right direction.
Ball jointed neck.
And look at this, and I'll just show you. Like here, Leia female figure that's only got one jointed elbow, but if you look, if I bend it the correct way, that's how far the elbow bend gets it. So you get well over 90 degrees on that. I mean, it's still a little limited, but I really don't need Leia to do like arm curls. So it's not a big deal.
She can't kiss her own butt then.
I can pull her apart. the only thing about figure arts is like, I don't know if anybody's seen going online on YouTube and seen the side-by-side face comparisons between the photoreal for Hasbro and the photoreal for figure arts. I gotta tell you, man, like Hasbro beats them in my books a few times, not too often, but there's definitely a couple figures where I think Hasbro ends up looking better. So I don't know. And then you're talking about SH Figure Arts prices. Like they just put up for pre-order for the domestic release of Yoda, which I was actually going to get because I thought if you're going to get a Yoda, you might as well get a really articulated one. Well, that shit is $112 or $120 for a fucking Yoda.
Yoda?
You know.
What the fuck?
Now he comes with accessories and a bunch of different like cloaks, and he comes with his Senate chair. But like, I don't want the fucking Senate chair. Like, I don't. Is an action figure. I don't want him sitting. That's not.
I doubt that chair is worth $100 or $60, $70.
And you know, Bluefin doesn't bring over Star Wars figures, I don't think. So all their Star Wars figures that they bring over is a little more expensive anyway. It's just that price is not worth it for me.
You would think that they would be bringing those in, and Barnes and Noble would be stocking them because they have that Star Wars.
That would be impulse buys for me all day long, man. If Barnes and Noble had some of these guys, like I only have one SH Figure Arts Star Wars figure, and that's Rey from Force Awakens. No.
She was in two.
I got a Rey. I can't remember. I got the Rey from one of those movies. That's it. Like I couldn't afford to stay in that line. They priced me out on those, and like the Dragon Ball stuff comes over at about $60 a pop, and that's right in the sweet spot for me. I mean, I always take cheaper, but I don't know. That's all I got. Those three things, I believe, is all I got this week.
Good deal.
Good deal.
T, I know you got a lot of cool stuff.
Well, you all saw Optimus and Soundwave and Starscream and Star Fox Oh My. This actually, I get to play with it, but it's not actually mine. And one thing that I've watched like 2 reviews on this, and they didn't discuss this. He has like a bulging at the bottom of his abdomen, so he can like rock back and forth like Kratos. And that does work a little bit for this impromptu pose that I'm trying to get him into.
Man, that looks really good.
But these fists right here, the fist he comes with is fused, and I'm scared to bend it. All the spikes are soft, rubbery feeling. So but I'm still scared to I don't know how to grip it without ripping the spikes off. So
heat that thing up a little.
Outside of that, I got my final Dora Milaje body.
Nice.
And Matt the Bot Supplier supplied me with this KO 1000 Toys drone thingy. It's really a robot behind the shield.
I remember seeing this.
That's awesome. It shows you transforms?
Yeah. There's like 2 modes. Well, 3 modes. One, this little fake you out shield thing. And then it's a tall, slender, scary looking robot. And then it's a spidery looking, slender, scary robot. So I'm thinking that's all I got. But, we can go to Joe while I transform this thing.
Cool.
Good deal. Joe, what'd you get this week?
Well, I didn't get any new turtle sets, but I finally decided after walking past these T800, the NECA T800s. I've walked past them like several times.
Come on, Joe, you have to give me all your money.
And I was like,
buy me now.
I'm going to do it. And
do it.
It's not bad. I don't know if this is the same one that Dave's been ranting and raving about.
I think it is. Yeah.
Oh, wait. I think it is.
Yeah, it's a decent. I think it's like.
Like how he's got the bullet holes in his back.
Yeah, it's got bullet holes in the back and everything. It's got like a thigh swivel. It's got a boot swivel. But then the arms are like really lacking. Like there's like no swivels in the arms or anything. Well, there's an elbow swivel.
It's better than anything McFarlane ever put out.
Yeah, you know what though? The arm part of it kind of reminds me a little bit of the McFarlane Captain Picard. but then like the rest of it's like pretty much on point for what the price point is. So, pretty happy with that. And I also got Make Toys Skycrow. It's out in the truck still because I'm lazy and I haven't brought it in the house. But the big score this week that I've been waiting a long time for is The Great Saiyaman.
You're not even going to do the voice?
Save the day.
I wasn't sure if you actually had it or whether those were stock pictures. So if those were your pictures, good job.
Yeah, these are all my pictures. Thank you very much. You can check those pictures out on our Figure Action Podcast Instagram. And yeah, I actually took all those pictures, and Instagram was like down for that whole day, I guess.
Yes.
This morning they went through. So and that's it. That's all I got for this week.
Here's this dude, if you can see him.
Hold on, let me bring you up.
Sour plug.
With that
That's awesome.
Chappie.
Oh.
I was gonna say it looks a little like the guy
on.
from Overwatch.
Yeah. Well, you know what? There's a character on
Whoa.
what's the new game everybody's playing now? God damn it.
Fortnite?
Apex Legends.
Oh, Apex.
On that. It looks a lot like that too.
He has two little guns on the side. It's weird how he holds them because you see what his claw hands look like. You have to like put his thumb inside of a little groove on a gun. And it's like he's holding a Pop-Tart or something.
All right.
I might have it upside down. Oh no, I can rotate his hand. Never mind.
That thing's almost like that little dinosaur thing I have. It's like it's just this kind of little,
Yeah.
like odd one-off robot piece. He's awesome though. The price for the real one of those guys is like $80.
I think Matt probably found this for less than $10. And for less than $10, this is awesome. The best less than $10 thing you can get.
That's the same outfit that does these guys?
Yeah, well, if it was made by the real company, yes.
Yeah. Designed by anyway.
Only thing that I wish it had, because I'm greedy, it kind of makes it look like it has an ab crunch, but actually this is all just one flat piece. But it has
that's still kind of genius.
Yeah.
Well,
the chest will look like this, but you can crunch it in and look like it has an ab crunch.
That almost works. Like for a picture at least, I think that would probably fly.
Yeah. It kind of makes. I thought the pistons work too, but they don't. But like you said, for a picture, it'll look like it's making it work. And I think I just figured out how the legs work. There's a little post inside of the leg, like that bothered me, but I just figured out if I push it, it snaps into place.
Okay.
So this is really cool. I don't know when I'm doing a review. I never did the review on the other 1,000 toys yet. But Zero, I have been practicing the transformation on Unique Toys Challenger.
Finally.
So hopefully by this weekend.
Yeah. Then your birthday present will arrive. You'll be like, oh, I'm too busy playing Devil May Cry 5.
That might happen.
Okay.
I'm going to have to hurry up.
Exactly. All right, so to switch gears, I know I've been long overdue to give the fine folks a little tour of my work in progress basement. So I'm going to take a break, well, not a break, but I'm going to take a moment to kind of show where I'm at with everything. So let me get over here.
So how did you get 2 extra zeros here?
Yeah, because I used my phone for the power of the internet.
I didn't know that you could do that.
So we'll take the Toy World Devi here. I'm gonna pick him up. And this is really going to be a bless this mess moment. So pretend like it's Planet Fitness and make this the judgment-free zone.
Oh, I actually can't see. Oh, wait, there you go.
There you go. There I am. And mind the vacuum. Here's my my gaming set. Now this is done. This part's done. Here's my TV. That is an LG C7 55-inch TV. It's an OLED. It's probably one of the best TVs in the market. Highly recommended if you're looking for a new TV. And I need to get some floating shelves from Target so I can get my Amiibo display properly, because they're just here right now. I have another one of these shelves, so there's going to be another shelf going here. I just haven't built it yet, and that's in the computer room. There is my Homedics massage chair that my lovely girlfriend got for me for Christmas, and it is the best. I use this thing like every night.
Are you able to turn the phone to landscape, or is that?
Oh yeah, you know what? Instead of being a savage, thank you, man.
There you go.
So we'll go back.
Thank you.
So,
I covered.
Another bookshelf's going here. That one's built. There's my my Rick Moranis painting. Got that at a local art show.
Amazing.
So yeah, so this is my bless this mess moment. I am in progress trying to figure out the best space for everything, and I'm it's like an easier said than done thing. And,
it's like the war is raging actively right now.
I'm having some real floor time going on right now.
The Decepticons are winning.
Well, that's the thing, man. It's really the Autobots should be winning, because I realize just how many Autobots there are. Like, so I'm happy with my ARC display here. So for anybody that's listening to this, I'm showing off my Masterpiece ARC Autobots, the Season 1 cast. And here we get into the Season 2 guys, which the shelf is just abnormally tall to make space for Jetfire or Skyfire. I may move him over here and move that shelf up. Here we got some of the mini bots and Grapple, the other two Datsuns, Skids. We got Superion and Omega. I've got my Omega Guardian over here.
Oh yeah, just them. And that giant Optimus could beat the Decepticon.
Right. And then I wanted to have like a little bit of balance. I have the giant Megatron over here, and again, I'm still trying to sort out. I really love my so like my Season 1 ARC cast and my movie shelf and Dinobots. Like that's just like a little slice of heaven for me, because I really like how these turned out, how the layouts are. Then I get into like Headmasters, and it's nice to actually have Carrie displayed properly. And even though he wasn't really with the Headmasters, and then get to some Target Masters and Sound Blaster. I don't know what to do with this. I want to have Victory Leo there, even though he and Ginrai are the same character. So I'm not exactly sure what to do with this down here.
You have to shut off your mind.
Yeah, I know. And then the Decepticon side. So yeah, kind of happy with my Season 1 shelf for Decepticons. Getting to like my Seeker shelf, Coneheads and Triple Changers and Stunticons, and then it all just kind of, this shelf isn't done yet. It's a mess over here. I got like Headmasters and movie. There's just so few Decepticons, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of Autobots, and I'm thinking about like condensing all this and then doing Beast Wars, IDW. So I'm really and Shattered Glass, G2. So I'm really struggling with how I'm going to do all this, and like I said, it's just kind of a mess here. But by the weekend, I plan on getting it all done.
I think you want me to play the weekend, right?
Oh no, I don't. I don't, Alexa.
Stupid technology.
Yeah.
No. Stop listening.
Yeah. Jeff Bezos in the house, everybody. So yeah, I'm hoping to get it all done. Like I said, it's really bless this mess right now.
Yeah, you need a G2 shelf set up for sure, and you need some kind of Seeker representation on that shelf, don't you?
Yes, I do. I do very much. And Matt, I think you need to get this guy. This has your name written all over it.
Oh, the G2 side swipe.
Yes.
Or at least a knockoff.
No, get the real deal. He's on BBTS for like $50.
Oh, never mind.
And T.
$50 mean like $20 in
secret? This has T-Man 978 written all over it.
Nah, I'm good with the regular.
Come on, man. G2 Jazz.
There is something there in your collect. There are several things in your collection with my name on it.
Yeah, I know.
Like one that
it's just
Fans Hobbies
right here.
Him and that Fans Hobby Scourge.
Where's he hiding?
Right there. Or is that the real official one?
Yeah, that's the official
right
one.
down in the corner.
Yeah, he stays somewhere here. Somewhere. You know, it's sad. I've got like so. Oh, there he is. Got Megatron. And I get the Shattered Glass Prime there.
Do the Decepticons tend to be taller?
Yeah, they do actually. With the exception of like Reflector and the Insecticons, and I'm going with the KFC Stunticons for my scale. X-Transbots. Thank you. Then I think I'm going to turn him into Battle Damage Megatron, since nobody knows what the state of Moss Toys is right now. So I don't think I'm going to get that thrown. So I'll have the official one and then the knockoff with his Battle Damage. And I might add him to the movie shelf. I don't know.
Well, all I know is you might want to invest in some RFID security tags before you invite us all over, because I think
that's true.
Yeah.
Well, we do have like the Ring doorbell and the Ring floodlight. So if anybody walks out with anything, I'll see you doing it.
But then it's too late, though.
Yeah, it's too late, but at least I know where you guys live.
Or where you think we live at.
I know where you live. Your fatal flaw is saying, "Can you ship this to my house?" And then I know you at least got it.
Yeah, T, you're not hiding from anybody. I've got your address saved in my Amazon address book.
I think I have y'all addresses saved in my address book.
So Matt, you were talking G2, and we all know that TFCon LA, which is kind of controversial, because I know a lot of folks in the Midwest and the East Coast upset over the fact that TFCon is, one, so soon, and two, on the West Coast this year. As far as we know, we don't know if there's going to be a third convention. But personally, I'm not too miffed about it, because I think folks out on the West Coast, are equally deserving of having their own TFCon, and that's neither here. Yeah, and plus, I've got friends out there, so any exclusives, it's like, if I really wanted it, it would be no issue to get. But
is there just such an exclusive?
They got me by the G2 balls. So they've revealed, aside from the blue Optimus, which is kind of an homage to the original colors for Ultra Magnus, Delta Magnus, some people call him, or is it Powered Con? The original Powered Con?
No, it's Delta. The toy itself is called Delta Manus, so I can only imagine
Delta Manus, yeah.
Magnus homage.
Yeah, the masterpiece is Delta Magnus. Man, wouldn't that be cool if they came out with another set that gave him the Ultra Magnus armor?
They may still. I mean, there's tabs on Striker Manus that aren't used yet, so
yeah,
wouldn't surprise me.
But they revealed today that there's an exclusive with Make Toys and the Chosen Prime, which is the G2 Starscream. And I can't remember if that was on the pack of the G2 Jazz. And it looks spot on the money. What's really cool about it is, they went and they did like the tampos for the toy decals and everything. Just a vibrant G2 colors, and if it's anything like the G2 Jazz, I think the demand for it's going to be really high. I really like it. So I was looking to get some trades together, see if I can get one. What do you guys think about it?
If he was close, isn't regular price for them $100? I almost said $1,000.
Yeah,
$100. If he was closer to that, like even if he was, I realize he's an exclusive, so that's wishful thinking. But if he was 100 or 110, I'd probably cave. But that 45 extra bucks kind of chafes me a little bit, so I'm out.
Yeah, it sucks too. Yeah.
I think they're 120.
Are they? Well, he's 145.
Yeah, so it's only $25 more.
Which makes you wonder, because there was a tax on G2 Jazz, because downbeat was, I want to say 80, and G2 Jazz, or the G2, what did they call it? They called it
Maestro.
Yeah.
Maestro.
But yeah, he was 120 when he came out. What was it? June or July was TFCon Canada, and he was hard to get. And now his value is like through the roof. I've seen him going for like 250 on average on eBay. They only made 120 of them.
Yeah, but you knew that. I mean, especially with that packaging, man, that was amazing.
Yeah,
like they swung for the fences for that.
Yeah, shout out to buddy Oscar Alonso, one of the original SCU members. He got me one, and I'm like eternally grateful for that. Because that figure it is awesome. So they spared no expense with the paint on that Jazz. I can only imagine that Starscream being awesome. And then of course we don't know what MMC is doing for Reformatted, but of course with Reformatted, those exclusives are always easy to get. They'll be on Planet Steel Express. They'll be on BBTS and the Chosen Prime. There's as much as con exclusives with MMC are cool. The only ones that are hard to get, I think, are the Ocular Max stuff.
Didn't they put Azalea on the?
They did.
Site too, Stealth Azalea.
Yeah, and Hellion, and I think that they're going to do a black version of Springer. What do you guys think?
He looked ready, so it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, because they made a post saying like Saltus was going to be available soon.
Before we leave Meteor, I'd love to see what a toy accurate Meteor would look like with the black thighs. That would be awesome to me, anyway.
Yeah, and that's the thing, though. Have you guys noticed that they kind of have stepped away? I mean, the third parties kind of stepped away from doing toy repaints, and now Takara's doing it with like the Plus line. Isn't that kind of crazy?
Well, they switch up depending on what they've already released.
Yeah. Because they just did MP36 Plus. I'm guaranteeing they're going to do MP45 Plus. Like they've never done Optimus with yellow eyes and all the tampos, chrome thighs.
Billion. You see all those sneaker Optimus Primes that are coming out?
The tiger stripe one and all that.
I got to tell you, like, the LeBron one looks cool. Like somebody posted a picture of it today. There's no way I'm gonna get that because like to me it's like I got enough MP10s. I got nowhere to put them. But the LeBron
one for anybody that has to have all of them.
Yeah, that's a hard way to go.
So I'm pretty sure those things will be expensive.
Where the hell is my pre-order for Hound? That's what I want.
Which Hound?
It's not coming out.
The Masterpiece Hound they keep showing.
Yeah, well, he's MP47 now.
Stop pushing him back.
Yeah, well, they announced him, but they never said what MP number he was because they wanted everybody to buy Bumblebee again.
I think I still have that pre-order. Actually, I need to cancel.
What I want to know is where the hell is Goldbug? Because the only company that ever made a Goldbug was Toy World, and it looked nothing like Goldbug.
You think that would be a kind of an easy thing to do? I mean,
right. And I'm hoping with this new Bumblebee, they go and they do Cliff Jumper, do an official Cliff Jumper. Because I mean, I got into a little bit with Deluxe because I was like, yeah, I want an official Cliff Jumper, and he was like, what's wrong with the with the X transbots, and I was like, well, there's nothing really fundamentally wrong with it. It's just it's still got that, yeah, it's not official, and it doesn't have like the articulation that the MP46 has. And a lot of people aren't on board with that, but like when you get a figure that small, there's gonna be kibble, and there's gonna be stuff that's just noticeable. But I think that figure's gonna be like Sunstreaker, where in hand I think it's gonna look a whole hell of a lot better than it does in the pictures.
Not only that, but X Transbot, so X Transbot's Toro is one of my favorite figures I own, and I still say like I can see people wanting an official release of Clip Jumper. I mean, you want an officially numbered masterpiece of all your core characters, and he's certainly one that's been ignored for a while. So,
like, I wouldn't get rid of him. I just put him in alt mode and then put him on like the ArcBot alt mode shelf. Because I kept Bad Cube Sun Surge. He wasn't worth anything, so I was like, I'm not going to sell him. And now I've got him, Sunstreaker, Wheeljack, going to have Smoke Screen and Prowl. And then, when MP36 comes out, I have 2 MP10s, one of the MP10s in truck mode, and I'll have like a, cool little display.
I think I got my little $80 for Sun Surge.
Yeah.
Take it and run.
I felt the worst for our buddy Lance, because he bought Sun Surge the day before Sunstreaker was announced. And so he because Sun Surge was kind of rare at the time. He had kind of like the Quake Wave effect going on, where you just couldn't get a hold of Sun Surge, and Bad Cube is notorious for they'll have a run of figures and they don't say anything, and then they'll be like, oh, here comes a reissue, and then they'll do the same thing. So the prices would go up. And then the day after they announced Sunstreaker, you start seeing like all the sales threads coming in.
Sun Surge, I had the option to not buy him, but I bought it anyway, but I knew the whole time that Jakar told me he was going to come out with a better version. So I wasn't completely happy with him.
And then so they did.
Yeah.
I like the comment here about are we finally get that little tour from Extra Zero? Jesus. And Nate Simmons says, don't forget about Crapagonics. Yes, how can we ever forget about Crapagonics and the Sun Surge? I remember when people were having debates as far as what looked better?
Crapagonics.
Yeah.
He was never even an option.
Right. I mean, but there were a lot of people out there that they hate faux chests. And even though he's got that big classics looking barrel chest, they were like, I don't like faux chests enough to justify that Omnigonics look better. And I was like, no way.
Well,
I like the Carmo
chests. If people don't like faux chests, they need to not buy Playboy. Not even a little bit.
Or play video games with women. Yeah, sorry. I like on Omnigonics. I like the Carmo, and I like the way the backpack cleans up. But then when I seen everything else, I was like, ugh.
I just think it's funny that the wheels were falling off of them, and people weren't,
Yeah, it was way worse than I could imagine.
Yeah, the QC on that figure is probably the worst I've ever seen at any third party. And I mean, I've seen some bad QC on figures. Ditka is probably the worst I've ever owned, and that figure's still in my collection. But
he comes with a football. You have to keep him.
Yeah, he comes with a football. That's the crowning achievement. It's yeah, he comes with a football. Okay, he's named after Mike Ditka.
Speaking of QC, I saw. I tried to watch a JC video. He reviewed this guy. And he claims that when he went to transform the backpack, it just broke at the hinge that rises up.
Broke or popped off?
It broke.
Huh.
He showed the piece. The plastic somehow snapped, and I don't know how the heck that happened.
Yeah.
I definitely need that Starscream.
Siege?
Maybe you do.
Yeah, the Siege Starscream.
It's like, didn't you have a birthday?
We all have birthdays, Jordan.
I
think his was right before yours.
It was. It was.
Oh yeah, I didn't mention the filler parts in the legs.
In your review, yeah. And that and you know what that reminds me of? Galaxy Meteor.
Yeah.
Yep. Galaxy Meteor does that.
I think this does it even better because you don't have to push a button.
I think that's a good topic of discussion. Like, is Hasbro actually learning from third parties?
Yes.
I think for sure. I mean, it's free research for them. Like, other people that they don't have to pay or worry about are figuring shit out for them, and they can take what they want from it and run. And
right, because it's their intellectual property that's being ripped off.
Right.
So you kind of like have to wonder: are we going to see like a third-party figure, and then see like a 1-to-1, with Hasbro? Because like I think, and T mentioned Challenger, right? I think that if they ever do a masterpiece, Age of Extinction, Last Night Optimus, it's going to be that exact transformation.
Yeah, because that was one thing I was going to mention in the review, that it seems like Unique Toys took the Voyager class version and just upgraded it. So Hasbro, if Takara Tony would just have to do the same thing or make the same figure.
Yeah.
Like you're saying. One thing that I know they probably got from third parties is the way these hips work. Like, I love that. That gives them a better range of motion in the hips.
And it looks good both ways.
He and Optimus have that. So I really appreciate that.
They get rid of the skirts and just do an actual.
Yeah, even though Soundwave isn't bad, but I like Soundwave more. This App Crunch just pushes him over the edge.
Man, you're all over the place with these guys. Like,
yeah,
I think it speaks volumes though, and like it's been a while since people have had figures come out and say, one is objectively better than the other, and then like you can't decide and go back and forth. It makes it exciting, especially for the main line, and it really makes you think. I know there are a lot of people that are just very dismissive of mainline Transformers because they've got Masterpiece and third party and all
cold and dead.
But like when you can go and look at like Hasbro making like a really good effort with the mainline stuff, it's like, well, everybody jumped to third party and Masterpiece because the quality was lacking, and it's like, granted, Masterpiece is a different scale, but if Chug stuck with this quality, would you all have ever been able to justify Masterpiece or justify it to the level that you have?
I think that they would have went all out on Masterpiece if Chug quality was like fully painted and had all types of articulation and whatnot. I think with Masterpiece they would have went the extra mile, and all the cars would have had die cast, and they probably would have had opening panels in their arms for communicators and whatnot.
Like MPO1 and...
Yeah. So they would probably be on another level, which I wish Greed didn't come into play, or Hurricane Katrina or whatever. Like after Hurricane Katrina, everything went up in price.
Well, yeah, because they were at the time saying the price of petroleum went up, which impacted plastic, and it was like when they saw people were still willing to pay for goods.
And they started getting success with the Bay movies.
Yeah,
the toys flying off the shelf. But what they forgot was when those toys were flying off the shelf, deluxe class was only $10.
Yeah. Well, not to mention the fact that at the time they were flying off the shelf, they actually were in stock. Like I remember at that time, you could go into a Walmart and they had the big. Well, first of all, the toy aisle at Walmart was a lot bigger. Like you had like 2 action figure aisles.
Now they only do that during holidays.
Yeah. Well, both the Walmarts I go to, there's now technically 2 action figure aisles, or there's like one really big action figure aisle that's separated by like an intersecting aisle. but there's definitely more. Like, oh, I don't want to get controversial, but there's more like it's like two girls aisles. Like we have like baby dolls and
little kid aisle too.
yeah, and like stuffed bears and everything. And then there's a little kid aisle. Yeah, there's like two aisles for like dolls.
Like
and
Barbie has her own aisle to herself.
Yeah,
Barbie.
Like to answer your question before about the masterpiece and all that, like I think a lot of it comes down to intent, regardless. Like masterpiece is inherently meant to be displayed, while chug is meant to be played with. I don't know. That's kind of how I feel about it. Like I think it would still shake out the way it did, because for that reason that collectors want to have something to put like a museum, quote unquote museum piece on their shelf, to be a classic representation where you get your chug figures and you just want to sit there like a desk bot or something. Like, okay, let's say if you got it for the age range originally intended, then you actually play with it and have all out wars. If you get it while you're our age, then you have desk bots, or you secretly play with them and have all out wars. Yeah,
I don't know. There's just like kind of like a period in time where I think the the quality of figures dropped off, and you have like big exposed hollow pieces, and you can still see it as a toy, but it just didn't have the display presence that old Chug had, like Joe's butt there.
Combine Wars.
Combine War in the legs, Joe. Combine War in the legs. And you do actually, with Walmart, you bring up a good thing. Like, why? We've seen the name of the episode is Siege Walmart, and it's why there's only one of each of these guys hitting Walmart. Like, the pictures I've seen, like, why do they do that? Why do they make these like false shortages when they know goddamn well they could have shipped out a fucking box of each one of these things and still been fine?
Yeah, I think a lot of it is fear of missing out, right? Because like I'll never forget when I went and found the 2007 movie Leader Optimus, right? There wasn't just one on the shelf. There were 4 of them on the shelf. And I was like, oh, cool. And I picked one up. And now it's like when you go into a Target, like, you're saying like, you're going to Target because you're afraid of things being scarce. And like, you see like the turtles there. You're like, oh man, I got to get to my Target. It used to be like, if you wanted something, you could go there and get it. And now I feel that retailers are a little bit apprehensive, even though they're competing with the online market space. They're apprehensive to stock like the toy aisles up because they consider it to be a declining market, but they're not doing anything to say, if I want something, I can go to Walmart or Target and get it. Now it's, well, I might as well order it online, because if I go to Walmart or Target, typically they don't have anything on the shelf. And I think that's detrimental to their business. And I don't think they're looking at it in the right way.
That's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy, though.
It is.
Because it's like how everyone sitting in this panel would have had all the Siege figures that are out. We'd all be playing with our Starscreams and our Sound Waves and whatnot, because we all would have bought it on site, and our Ninja Turtles and whatever. Those are all sales. Those are all sales ready to go. And I don't know. Like I don't want to order them online. I want to walk into a shop, pick it up, and have it then and there.
Right. Yeah. So you don't have to deal with USPS or
get it up off the shelf. But what is a declining market is Blu-rays and DVDs. That's a declining market. But yet, when a movie is released on Blu-ray, that Tuesday, that's going to be on the shelf. You can walk into Walmart, and it'll be on the shelf, ready to
You're right. You're right. With the exception of Steelbooks.
Why they can't say, okay, Siege Soundwave's coming out on this date, and it's going to be stocked on this day, and you can go in there and pick them up. And then
have a fucking chipper full of them.
Stagger them every week or every 2 weeks or whatever, so people don't have to go and buy 6 figures at one time.
And
have the stores on board with the release dates, just like they do with DVDs.
I think you're onto something there, and I think Target is probably the only retailer that sees it, because when you go into Target, look at how much of the electronics section they've given up to expand the toy aisle. Like, you go into Target now, they're the first retailer I've seen in maybe a decade to carry power wheels. Like my 2 targets actually have power wheels where like the large extended DVD section was.
I've seen that.
Yeah, and the NECA stuff and the adult collectibles, like they gave up part of like the books, because again, like ebooks have kind of taken over and Audible has taken over. So
what are books?
Oh,
I think one thing that's killing Transformers is all the different lines all at once. Cyberverse, the movie stuff.
I don't think it's killing it. I just think Hasbro's distribution is killing it. Now I think Pulse is a great thing. Because like
what's a good thing?
Hasbro Pulse.
Hasbro Pulse.
But like look at how many figures Hasbro has that like they just don't even bother getting to retail. Like, the last wave of Last Night stuff, the last wave of Titan Return. These are figures people wanted, and Hasbro is like, it's too late. We got the next line coming out, and they don't bother with their distribution. People don't even see them. They show up at Ollie's.
The bad thing is they started out with figures that nobody wanted. So those stores stayed in Walmart, and Walmart had those Last Night figures on discount for a long time, like $5 cheaper than everybody else, but they just sat and festered on the shelf.
Yeah, because they re-released Age of Extinction figures, and it seems like with Studio Series they're like doing things right with giving everybody a new drift and doing the stuff that the Premier line should have done.
Mm-hmm.
But
Premier was a joke.
Yeah, the only thing we got good out of it was the Voyager Optimus and the first. Of course they used the Berserker mold for all the dreads now.
Mm-hmm.
But
Hot Rod.
Yeah, he needs a new figure with the Studio Series.
Yeah,
because he looked nothing like Lockdown.
Who is it that's coming out with a hot rod? There's a third-party hot rod on its way out.
Yeah, so this was supposed to come out a long time ago. And of course, I briefly owned the other one. What was it? TF Evo, which was a figure that had good display presence, but just it had QC issues. I had to fix mine. But
did y'all see the request for Joe to twerk?
Oh, God,
I did. I was ignoring it.
Yeah, it's probably a good thing. I don't even know what a twerk is, to be honest with you. I don't think I could do it.
Thank you, Nate. Yeah, DX9.
Neither did Miley Cyrus.
Yeah, Miley Cyrus needs to eat a cheeseburger. Sorry.
Or three.
Now I'm hungry.
All right, Joe needs to eat a cheeseburger.
I had one earlier. You could just pretend you ate it with me.
Just like I'll pretend I have those turtles.
Only one. I haven't even
There's
taken
some
him out
bitterness
of the
there. There's some bitterness. I can taste it like a cheeseburger. It's amazing.
I am bitter. It's to the point where even the people at work, when I come in, they're like, "Did you find the turtles yet?" And I'm like, "No, leave me alone."
So here, let me go ahead and I'll share out this hot rod. I'm curious what we're gonna see at TFCon. I want to get into like some predictions here, as far as like what you guys think we're gonna see. But this is the DX9 Lahire, yeah, which is their hot rod. Which one, I appreciate the fact he comes with 2 guns, which the TF Evo one did not. And I know this design has been reworked. I think these are the old pictures, Lahire. He's supposed to be coming out within the next month. And I don't know if they've changed this, because originally he had the
hologram.
Yeah, I don't think it's a hologram. I think it was
almost a girl.
Yeah, and then of course she holds the little Merlin staff, so they're doing their own like human alliance sort of deal.
The staff of Ra.
Yeah, right. God, the Last Night was forgettable. But for those that don't know, this is from the same people that made Challenger and Perukill. I like that he comes with some effects pieces. Figure heroine. I can't even remember what her name was supposed to be, but
Was it Melissa?
It might have been Melissa. I don't know.
I don't remember any names on there.
The only name I remember that is in Dark of the Moon they made Carly, and I was like, that was too little, too late. And then of course they, crapped on Megan Fox, and they're like, well, we didn't like the old one anyway.
Then they made the new girl Charlie.
I thought it was Carl. Oh, Charlie. That's right.
Oh, Bumblebee movie. She was Charlie.
Yeah, I don't know. I was fine with that.
And I think she was Carly on Dark of the Moon.
Yeah, it was Carly in Dark of the Moon. It was Charlie in Bumblebee. But honestly, like Charlie was my favorite human character in the whole Transformers movie series.
Right there with you. Totally agree.
Like she was relatable. She was likable.
Vivian. Her name was Vivian. I had to look it up.
Oh, that's right. Because I remember Optimus running up the hill and saying,
Vivian.
Peter Cullen did not give a crap in that movie.
My name is Optimus Prime, and I'm here for the paycheck.
Yes.
Vivian. Good, Peter.
You spoke, Bumblebee.
Did you guys notice that in the they reused footage from Revenge of the Fallen in the last night, and so it was so sloppy. They reused the submarine shot from like after they dump Megatron's body.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, and so in the last night you can see Transformer 1 Megatron's corpse when the submarine does its drive-by when they're going to the relics where. Yeah, God, that movie was a train wreck.
That almost warrants a rewatch just to see that.
There was a lot of dark in that movie anyway. So.
Huh? What'd you say, Joe?
I said there was a lot of eye rolling during the last night. I probably missed a lot of it.
Yeah.
You get too busy looking left and then up and then right.
So
Dark of the Moon had stock footage from one of those other Michael Bay movies. The chase scene where they're fighting the dreads.
Yeah, the island. They reused the shot from the island. Yeah, and they reused it again in Age of Extinction, I think. Or they cut it. They cut it a little different, and that's like Michael Bay's like. And they reused the shot from Pearl Harbor. And it's like, how the hell do you take a World War II movie and reuse the shot in present day?
Why are these Japanese Zeros attacking the Autobots? I don't understand.
But that's why like Bay makes them like racial stereotypes. Like, oh, that's why they're there, so we can have like a robot with a Japanese accent that offends half the audience.
Yeah, a lot of money. No, it was one last night. It was what was the one before last night that made a ton of money in China?
Age of Extinction.
Yeah, they actually filmed like a whole huge
an hour.
There was an hour that was cut from that?
No, they filmed an hour. An hour of the movie was in China.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't that movie like 4 hours long? Like,
yeah. They were trying to appeal to the Chinese audience because they had like Li Bingbing in it in like a very minor role.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Is she still,
you missed her.
Is she still on like the run from like as a fugitive? Like,
yeah, she was missing for a long time, but I think they got her. I think that resolved, but I don't remember if it was happy or sad. That's what I can add to that. I remember that happening, but I don't remember what the outcome was.
Oh, in the movie?
No. In real life, the actress like straight up disappeared for weeks, if not months.
Yeah, she owed money.
Yeah,
she owed money to the Chinese government. She was like, I'm gone.
And she's like, "Oh no, I'm missing."
Yeah.
she faded off faster than a Thanos snap.
Faster than Wesley Snipes on April 15th.
Speaking of a Thanos snap, what did you all think of that trailer? The new trailer.
I liked it.
Yeah,
I liked it. Yeah. And they called it the final trailer in the naming on YouTube. So hopefully that remains true, and that's the last footage we're going to see from it.
Like they showed the
TV spots.
Yeah, TV spots kind of cheat a little bit, don't they?
Yes.
I think they've done a good job of not showing. Like they made a decent trailer or good trailer with reusing a lot of old footage and not showing too much of the new stuff.
But yeah, that's what you need to do to generate hype. And I think there's a lot of people that are, without getting into it too much, have lost hype. And I would say that
did you watch it? Zero?
The trailer?
Yeah.
Yes, I saw the trailer.
Yeah.
I saw the trailer.
Good.
Did you watch Captain Marvel yet?
I'm not going to do that.
Not even just to see if your fears were either justified or.
I read all the spoilers that I needed to read, and I talked to some friends that I trust, and a lot of friends that want. Yeah, I would say I have about 5 friends that went into it with kind of an open, including my one friend's wife, who went into it with an open mind and walked out of the movie, and we're not so thrilled.
Wow.
Yeah.
Honestly, every time I see clips, I want to see it again.
Yeah.
Like at first, I was feeling like it was a good movie, but I was like, only once is good enough. But every time I see clips, I want to see the whole movie again.
Yeah, it's one of those deals where it's like if you like it, you win. I'm not going to knock anybody who enjoyed it. I just don't want to. I don't think it's for me. I am excited to see Shazam. Say that much.
That's the one I have not been excited about.
Really?
Yeah. Every time I see the previous, like, they're trying super hard to be funny, but it's not funny.
Like, I just get a vibe from it that's like Big, and I always liked the movie Big when I was a kid.
And that's probably another thing. Since I was a kid, I hated. I used to love people like Inspector Gadget because I liked the stuff he could do, but I hated that he was completely incompetent. He had all those powers, but he wasn't really saving the day, and the show was named after him.
Yeah, it was Penny, but that's the thing, though. It's
That's
like
the joke.
The story revolves around the guy that's incompetent. Now you have like a story about a kid who gets superpowers, and what does he do with them?
I'm sure his story will be better. His ending battle and whatnot was going to be better than Inspector Gadget.
Yeah, because like when you have Superman, like Superman's a character. Like I personally think Superman's boring. And I personally think that Superman didn't become interesting until Batman became a foil for Superman, right? And like if you have a character like Billy Bash, like think about Goku, right? Goku's an interesting character because he has all this power, and he just has like this childlike view of the world. Yeah. And like he's a guy where like fighting is the last resort, and he is, he's still, unlike Superman, he's vulnerable. Like like one of my favorite scenes in Dragon Ball is where like Goku's trying to remain as a Super Saiyan. I think he falls asleep, and Krillin just like throws a rock at him, and he's vulnerable. Like when he isn't anticipating an attack, like he's mortal. And that really opens up the door for Goku. If you catch him off guard, he's as mortal as you or me. Like a lot of people hated it, but in Resurrection F, right, when he gets shot, like I thought that was like an awesome scene because it really just shows you that there's like a lot of vulnerabilities for him. He's he's a flawed character.
You can make
depending on the writer.
Right.
You can make them relatable and you can make them interesting if they have some sort of flaw like that.
Yeah.
His where he always lets his guard down, and he usually makes the situation worse before it ultimately is resolved. Superman doesn't really have that. But then look on the other side of it, you can have a invincible character like One Punch Man that should be a boring character, but the way that they do it, the way that they tell that story, and the way that people react to him, and the way he kind of feels about it, makes it interesting.
Well, so that's you're right. It's a satire on a character that's overpowered, and that's what's interesting. Is like Superman's not satire, and that's why I have a problem with overpowered characters. Right? If there's no flaw or character arc for them, like I think the most interesting stories for Superman is like where he like Injustice, right? Not just the game, but the comic. Like what happens when Superman just goes ape shit with his power. And he abuses it. Or Red Sun so Red Sun's probably my favorite Superman story because in that Superman's weaponized by Russia. And when you introduce a character that's just OP, and I don't care whether it's Marvel, whether it's DC, whether it's anything, even like I was saying with Dragon Ball, like some people are like, well, Goku's like a Superman tier. No, Goku's not a Superman tier character. Because Superman, if he was asleep, you wouldn't be able to shoot him and kill him. Depending on who's writing for Superman, he gets shot in the eyeball and stop a bullet, without feeling it. So, I'm just not a fan of overpowered characters, and my biggest worry.
Even if it's not an overpowered character, if you have a character that's just too perfect, that can just come in and doesn't have any internal conflict, picks everything up right away and just swoops in and saves the day. I understand how you said you're afraid that Captain Marvel is going to come into Avengers and just kind of solve all the problems. I kind of had the same.
It would be like an Orioles game, right? Where they CC Sabathia shows up in the 9th inning, right? And it's like, what the fuck happened? Where the hell did this great pitcher come from? Out of nowhere, we never heard about a trade announcement, and he's just here.
That would be great if they actually won a game. That would be awesome.
I was gonna go there.
Well, no, what I'm saying is they're down on the luck, and then boom, he comes in last minute, and that's my fear of everything, right? It's like I don't care. I loved Alita. I thought Alita was a great movie. I love the fact, and yes, Kevin, the Orioles do fucking suck. I've been a lifelong fan of them, and it's. Being a fan of the Orioles is masochism in its finest, but every year somehow I convince myself to go back. But I saw Alita. I loved Alita, and I like the fact that she's such a relatable character, and I really enjoyed her arc in the movie, and even when she gets the berserk armor, she still followed. She has emotions. She lets her guard down. She trusts people, and that's my worry is having a character show up in what was essentially the 9th inning of the story, is going to throw off the balance, and it's going to throw off the buildup of what they've been doing over 11 years with these characters, and it's not going to let their arcs properly finish. I think it's just kind of lazy writing, in all honesty. I don't want to get lumped in with the trolls and the misogynists and all that sort of shit. I'm just saying you introduced an overpowered character that was nowhere. I mean, where was she on the Battle of New York? And where was she when Ultron fucking lifted a city out of the
They're probably going to ask that in the movie.
Well, the excuse is, well, Earth had the Avengers and other planets didn't. But
exactly. She's a cosmic tier, superhero that's got bigger fish to fry.
When the Avengers are a group of like a dozen characters and they're facing an alien invasion or a city being lifted out of the ground, did Fury really think they had that? I mean, let's face it, in the first Avengers movie, Iron Man wins it on a Hail Mary. I mean, plain and simple.
Yeah.
There was a big chance that they weren't going to be able to stop the Chitauri invasion, but Fury didn't hit that pager. So I don't know. I think.
But again, you're talking about Earth-based threats as opposed to
galactic. I get that.
The Thanos snap affecting the universe. I mean,
it was Fury's fault.
But they didn't know that. Fury. They didn't know. On a global level, like Fury didn't know anything about Thanos. Fury didn't know that his snap.
Well, that's true.
Because it wasn't
Who's
until
Nick
Banner.
Fury? You don't know what
Banner was the one that told him that they were going to wipe out half the life on the universe, and everything that happens in Endgame kind of happens in a 6-hour span.
Fury knew that the Captain Marvel movie was going to be made, and he knew
exactly.
I do think that it is kind of odd timing to have like this epic finale being a 2-part, and have something like that be introduced in the middle of it. That is going to change. It is going to change things. It's going to be a new dynamic to the team. I don't necessarily think that her character is maybe needed in this last movie. You know what I mean? Like, I think it would be neat to see them finish it out.
Yeah.
With because I do think there's going to be a sacrifice. You're probably see Captain America or maybe even both Tony Stark and Captain America, sacrifice themselves.
Yeah.
And then you can bring in Captain Marvel or something.
Right.
But it is too soon. I mean, it's not in the can yet. We don't know exactly how it's going to pan out. But I do have hope.
I think that's going to happen. What you just said.
Yeah, I think one's going to die and one's going to retire. I think Cap's going to die, and I think Tony's going to be like, it's time to step down, kind of be a mentor for the Avengers. And I think that would have been a good way for him to go. Like, we got to get some new, we got to get some stronger allies. And then Fury goes, I know just the person for the job. And then they introduce her in, like, rather than just having her show up in the middle of this.
Yeah.
Do you think that with the amount of planning and foresight that Marvel has in these movies, do you think she was a late add-on, or do you think that she, or do you think that? So you don't think that maybe she was planned, maybe not from the beginning, but from at least a point further out than?
I think since Ultron, she was planned. Wasn't that in the news?
I mean, they probably
had like that big map.
Yeah, when they had the map of stuff that was planned. But I mean, I don't think that the draft was approved. And I mean, like, honestly, like, the Captain Marvel comics aren't that popular. So
here's my 2 things real quick, and we won't spend a whole lot of time, but 2 things on that I'm thinking, like, just off the top of my head, like, I'm sure people would have had the same worry. Like, imagine if Vision was somehow filling that same role, because Vision's probably the most powerful. Would you guys say Vision is probably the most powerful character that they have to date before Captain Marvel?
Scarlet Witch, though. Scarlet Witch was the most powerful.
You think so?
Yeah, absolutely. She put Vision in his place, and especially in Civil War.
Yeah.
So I guess my point being that both of those characters more or less end up getting nerfed for Infinity War.
Yeah, and then Scarlet Witch even lost her accent.
I mean, yeah, sure. So that stuff like that makes me think there's got to be some kind of equalization of power. That she can't just come in and just be the OP that, like, all of a sudden hit God mode. And I say that to say this, that I think they've created a situation that she can't punch their way out of. So there's got to be more to it than this person is powerful, let her use her power to overcome. I think there's going to have to be more than that to solve the issue.
Yeah, something's going to happen to hold her back.
Now, is the Infinity Gauntlet, is it still 100% intact, or did he, like, use up all
broke?
Well, if you remember, like, when they go to the Forge, there was another one there.
So the stones are still there. It's just the gauntlet.
Yeah.
So we don't actually know, though, because it's funny you say that, because we actually watched that scene today because a coworker of mine had the same question, where you see the snap and then instantly Thanos is gone. So I don't know if you ever actually see what the state of the glove is afterwards, do you?
Yeah,
no.
Because
he mentally went somewhere, but then when he came back, you see his glove was all damaged.
Yeah, and his arm was burnt.
I don't remember that.
Because he went to people think he went into the Soul Stone, and that's where he saw Gamora.
Like, he talked to, when he said whatever he said to Thor before he teleported away, you saw the glove was messed up.
Yeah, he said you should aim for the head.
So even then, he said he may not be nearly as powerful as he was in Infinity War, and they may not need, all this extra.
I think it's debatable. If he could bring Vision back from them with the Time Stone, he could probably restore his own body.
Mhm.
Well, I was going to say too, though, the deed's already been done, so that Thanos there doesn't matter anymore.
And Thanos doesn't care about doing anything else other than balancing the universe. Like he's
right,
like,
as far as he's concerned, he could die. Like his job was done. That's the great thing about Thanos is he wasn't in it for himself, for power or glory. He needed to do a job, and now he is fucking done. You know, like do whatever you want to me now. I did what I had to do to save everybody.
He's like, I beat the game. I ain't playing that shit again.
Yeah.
You know who else got nerfed?
You saying there's no end game?
I will say they're inconsistent between the movies because like Thor Ragnarok ties right into it, but like the whole eyeball thing, they completely dismissed that, and they dismissed the well, you're more than Mjolnir, Stormbringer, and then they forget about Thor's lightning abilities.
Well, there's certain like you gotta. I don't know. Some of that's forgivable because you don't want to spend another movie on the hammer or the axe,
right?
You know? So or the eye, like that could have been one more Thor movie in between, but we really didn't need it. I mean, it was that's a here and done. Like here's this explanation, here's this explanation, and let's keep rolling on with the main plot.
Yeah, I think they could have avoided all. I mean, like Stormbreaker, we need a Thanos killing weapon, and then they could have had. I don't know. That could have been written better, but I don't know. I just think that Captain Marvel they should have let these characters wrap up their plot lines, like Joe is saying, and then at the end, Tony and Cap are out of it, and Fury is like, I know the person for the job, and that's when he pages her. I think that would have been the better way to do it. I think right now you're dealing with kind of a little bit of a polarized audience, and I kind of fall into that. And I think that this would have been the better way to say, hey, this is our soft way of introducing Captain Marvel and introducing her as like someone in the front of the Avengers rather than we're going to shoehorn her into Endgame.
Well, me personally, I have faith that they are going to have good writing. Yeah. And everything that we want to happen is going to make sense. Like they might knock her out somewhere into another dimension where the other characters have to do what they got to do, and she's not there to help them.
Yeah. I think the Russo brothers do a good job of introducing characters. Like, I love the way they introduced T'Challa, like, the way that they wrote everything into Civil War, and they had, it was going on in the middle of, like, UN meeting and the terrorist attack, and it gave T'Challa motivation, and it was a very organic way to introduce him and introduce the audience to Black Panther.
Speaking of Black Panther, before we wrap it up, what do you think of I can't remember her name, but Black Panther's sister taking up? I heard a rumor that she could take over for
Shuri.
I mean, they did have a female version of Black Panther. I forget what her name was, but I wouldn't rule it out.
Female version of Iron Man take over.
Yeah, I was gonna say she'd be a good
Ironheart.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
that'd be cool.
I mean, she was a huge hit. People loved her.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, because in Black Panther, she definitely did step up and fight when they had the invasion at the end. I think it'd be interesting to have her be Ironheart. I think people would probably want to see Riri Williams come in, but
this would be a good bridge between, like, instead of introducing a whole new character, they like to do that. They'll take existing characters and wrap it. So
I kind of like the whole idea of Cap dying, Bucky taking the mantle of Captain America. Tony steps away to begin his life with Pepper, but still mentors kids, and he's mentoring Peter, and then he finds like Riri, and he's like building up his new Avengers that way.
I'm curious, T. You said who else was nerfed? Who else did you have in mind?
The Doctor Strange. I saw him, like, he was super powerful, but then Ebony Maw just like. So they could do something like that to Captain Marvel.
Yeah, couldn't he have just like done his little circle cutting thing and cut Thanos' arm off? And
he could have did a ton of things.
Yeah.
He could have reversed time and like he did with Dormammu, and did a whole bunch of stuff, but they just didn't do it.
I never thought about that.
Flies in, he just could have he's seen it. Peter intervenes and the glove goes back on. He could just be like, turn that shit back, and then smack Star-Lord out of the way when he lands.
Yeah.
No, you sit over there and you just fucking stay there.
That's a
Yeah.
good point. I never thought about that because they cut off what's his name? They cut off his arm early on in the movie
Yes.
using a Doctor Strange 4. Did Stephen Strange just not see that he did that?
Why am I forgetting the guy name now? I built a figure.
Was it something Onyx?
No, I'm not on. Somebody's probably saying it in the comments.
Somebody in the chat. What was the name of the big part of the Black Order? The big guy.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Is they did drop the death called
Obsidian.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Kevin.
They did drop death from the Thanos storyline. That would have been cool.
Yeah, but you know what I thought they should have done is they kind of said like Hela was dead, but I thought it would have been cool if they had Hela basically replace Death.
Yeah, that's what I thought was gonna happen.
Yeah,
but they gave us the fake out with Witchcom being Death, sort of.
Oh, with
Red Skull.
Red Skull, yeah.
He had on the cloak and the skull face like Death.
Yeah.
That was kind of a random thing to happen too. Red Skull just be the one to end up there.
So you're saying you did not see that one coming?
Did not.
Well, I think a lot of dead villains are going to come back. I know Loki's coming back for his show.
I mean, if they mess with the time stone, they could be like, everybody's alive again, except Captain America.
I was under the impression that the Loki show took place before all this, that it was... Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I'm wrong a lot, so...
You know what would be great is they just call it the Loki show. Like, you're watching the Disney Channel. This is the Loki show.
It's time to play the music. It's time to light the lights.
So Matt, I understand, despite your cheapness, given that you and your wife are huge Disney fans, are you guys going in on that Disney streaming service?
Oh yeah. Oh, that's not even a question. Definitely. I think they had me at The Mandalorian, the Star Wars show that they're doing. So then anything on top of that's a bonus. And now that they're doing they're doing an animated Spider-Man show, aren't they? Or I can't remember. I don't know. It's plenty of stuff. Like between that and the fact that they're kind of doing away with the Disney Vault and all of the animated movies are going to make their way to that service. I don't know. Like, I don't know how anybody, especially anybody with kids, can turn that down. Especially, I think they're saying $7 or $8 a month. That's
because it's like we have Moana. You can get this streaming service and babysit your kids anywhere.
What if it's like the old Disney Channel where they show stupid Disney commercials in the middle of your show?
Yeah.
Or you're in the middle of your movies. I hated that.
I'm just gonna be broke because there's so many like services that are gonna hit my bank account for $7.99 on like the first of the month every month.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the best thing of streaming services. You can turn them off when you want. Like Netflix, if there's not a show on that you're watching, then shut that shit off and then turn it on when you want to watch something. Yeah.
You say that.
CBS, I'm gonna turn that thing off.
You say that, but like I've got Xbox Gamer Pass. And after Crackdown 3 came out, and I was like, this sucks. I couldn't figure out like where exactly to shut off Gamer Pass.
Well, that's Microsoft getting one over on you. If you can't find the button, you can't turn it off.
My problem is my kids. So if I turn that off, they'll go nuts. If I turn off Netflix or something.
Mm-hmm.
They're already pissed that I had taken off the commercials for Hulu, but then I found out that Sprint would give me Hulu free, but I would have to get the commercials, and that's driving them crazy.
And they'll make it.
Yeah, that's it.
Because I think right now for streaming, I've got Netflix, I've got Funimation, I've got Google Music Family Plan, and I've got what else? What's the other thing I've got? I think that's it for streaming.
Apple Music.
I don't know.
Spotify.
My daughter wants that.
No, we got the Google Family, so she uses it and I use it.
So you get YouTube Red out of that too, right?
You get No, you don't. They took that away.
That sucks.
So I had Google Music Single and YouTube Red all rolled into one when they had that. And then when I upgraded to the family plan, there was no warning message, no fine print that said, hey, you're going to lose YouTube Red. So when I upgraded and all of a sudden I started having commercials during my YouTube, I was like, I wish someone would have told me that because that sucked. And then I never realized how often YouTube I streamed with my phone off just to have the audio. And now you can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Like you can use YouTube Music, but that doesn't have a lot of stuff on it.
I can't stand on these streaming services when they do the commercials. They should give you the same commercial over and over again. Like if I had any interest in buying a freaking Kia, I definitely don't after seeing the same commercial the 12th time in a row when I'm trying to watch.
Right.
Next
TikTok.
Meetup.
Good night.
Joe rolls up in a Kia. What happened?
TikTok. I used to see that commercial 500 times a day on YouTube. I'm like, I hate TikTok.
My favorite is when you're going to watch a trailer on YouTube, but then the commercial before it is the trailer. And the ad that plays is the thing you're trying to watch. And you're like, hey, well played, YouTube.
That's what I understand is why there are ads when you want to watch an ad.
Yeah.
Because it's not the ads that they want you to see that they're getting paid for. I mean, it could be sometimes, but sometimes
you would think that if you're hosting an ad on YouTube,
you don't have to watch ads,
right? That they would kind of like be paying YouTube to place the ad, right? Because like you have to pay money to place an ad, right? So you would think there'd be like some sort of loophole, but no, it's like you're getting paid to place an ad on YouTube. If you think about it, because you're getting ad revenue.
Yeah.
So technically, you could just put your ad on YouTube and just post it everywhere. Be like, watch my ad. I didn't pay anything.
We could do that for figure action.
We could. We kind of do when we spam the groups like, watch your new episode.
That's true, but they love us for it. It's okay.
Yes. And then I get Robert D saying like, you're worse than Baldwin.
No, Robert D. We are just as bad as Baldwin.
We are. We have less content than that.
I was finally charged for Mezco bleed, so it's gonna happen.
It's real. It's a thing. Well, I guess don't celebrate till you have it in hand.
Yeah, that's true.
Mezco. Oh my.
You know, it'd be great if you got it on April 15th.
Tax day bleed.
Tax day. It's like, hey, I got something that slightly resembles Wesley Snipes.
Hey man, those Demolition Man checks stopped coming in. He had to do something.
The checks for the IRS game. Now they actually say that he might reprise the role of Blade in the MCU. I think he's a little old.
Yeah.
If they do a mentor kind of thing, they could do that.
Yeah, I keep saying that. I think they're gonna replace him with his daughter or something like that. I heard something about that happen in comics.
I mean, he's 56 years old.
But shouldn't he not age?
Yeah. He needs a serum. He looked old in part 3.
Yeah, he did.
I think T-Man could be the new Blade.
Oh boy. If he can be it, I guess I can.
You just stand there with sunglasses and a trench coat on.
Yeah. And they digitally alter my stomach.
Yeah, why do the push-ups and the crunches, man? Just whip that computer out.
Yeah, they did it for Superman.
Yeah.
Nobody will notice.
Who would we get to be Whistler?
Good question.
T-Man will be called Pocket Knife.
Nathan Simmons.
Nathan Simmons is Whistler.
He can be Henri.
Man, UPS crushed the hell out of my box. And all these damn vampires running around.
Speaking of Disney, what do y'all think of the Aladdin trailer that came out, the newest one?
I like that.
It looks okay, but what's up with Jafar's voice?
Yeah, they kind of leaned into his character kind of being weaselly more than more overwhelming than it is.
What? He just sounds like a guy, man. He doesn't sound like threatening or anything.
Do you want to get me the lamp? Like, do you want to get me the lamp? Like,
It reminds me of that Family Guy thing with Jafar 3 or Aladdin 3. Jafar needs glasses. Like number 1 or number 2. Yeah, I think number 2 is better.
That, and we can already tell that every song that the genie sings is going to be like any Will Smith song we've ever heard in any.
Woo!
But everyone should have known that the minute they announced him. I mean, that was a given. The good news is that the two leads besides Will Smith, man, like I think they both are a good fit. The two, Aladdin and Jasmine.
If that's her real voice, man, I'm impressed.
Yeah, man, they tried. They're from the little snippet they played for A Whole New World, man. They killed it. Like that little bit, I'm like, y'all are going for it. I appreciate that.
Sold me when I was like, all right, this might be worth watching.
I'll tell you what, the chick that's playing Jasmine's worth watching. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It'll make you sit through those. Woo!
I mean, I've seen Men in Black a bunch of times. It happens.
But yeah, he's not singing the songs in Men in Black until the credits. At that point, you're like, okay, I'm done.
Woo!
Woo! Same thing with I remember seeing Wild Wild West in the theater, being embarrassed.
I mean, it's a giant mechanical spider.
And then I remember asking the questions like, why does Artemis Gordon want Selma Hayek so bad? He doesn't have a dick.
That's a good question.
He had spider legs. He had like steampunk spider legs.
But could all those legs transform?
Oh yeah.
Into appendages.
Still, they're like made out of wooden pipes. I don't think he'd be doing anything.
It was the old West, man. I mean, you got to work with what you got. I don't know what to tell you.
I was just like thinking like the last season of Game of Thrones and like Theon's sister is like on the ship like picking up all the chicks and Theon's just looking there like, oh.
Yeah, even if she wasn't, there's not a whole hell of a lot he can do about it, is there?
Right, exactly. He just sat on the ship and looked agitated.
He can just rub up and down against somebody, just kind of sadly.
Right? 1 month.
Yeah, I'm really excited. It's from the lack of conversation. All of a sudden, I'm guessing there's only 2 of us here that watch Game of Thrones.
Probably.
Yeah.
Never watched.
Yeah.
Oh man, you guys are missing out.
Yeah. That'll be a Jordan and I side, man.
Yeah.
When I heard Game of Thrones, my brain just was like.
Actually, yours should be.
All right.
But I think we've hit that wall, gentlemen.
I think we have. I think we've hit the
Shut it down.
No, there's a wall joke with Game of Thrones. It's lost on you guys. But anyway, go ahead and wrap things up. Get some where you at and call it a night.
Unwrap.
Or unwrap. No, folks listening, it's not a condom. It's a cookie.
Oatmeal cream pie.
Ew.
Man. Oh, I love those things. I don't eat them, but I like the idea of them.
My stomach won't like it later.
Isn't that an appropriate joke? Partsformer, where can people find you at when you're not making cream pie jokes?
I got nothing more to add. Just look for me here. Search for my name. I'm on Instagram. Here I've been posting on Instagram more. I think I say this every fucking week, but I try to post to Instagram a little more often than I do. But I'm there, and I'm on Xbox Live on occasion. It's all the same name. I'm on Twitter. And I'm here Thursday nights.
Right on. Mr. Joe Crab, where can people find you?
Here you can find me here on Figure Action. You can find my pictures on our Figure Action Podcast Instagram. And you can find me on Xbox. Joe2131.
Are you still playing Anthem?
I am. You know what? I'm about reaching my limit with it though. Division's coming out, I think tomorrow. So I don't know. It's got a lot of issues.
Yeah, I know a lot of people dropped off from the player base. So yeah, it was bricking PS4s. I outright got rid of my copy.
Oh, that's crazy. Well, at least they probably gave you your money back, right?
No, I just sold my copy. Yeah, I sold my copy. So
you got something for it then.
Yeah. So I put the money towards Sekiro when that comes out. And I mean, he's one Google search away. But just in case people don't know where to find T-Man 978 at.
You can find me on YouTube, Instagram. I just put a video on IGTV. I took the extra effort to edit it so you can actually watch it properly. But Facebook, T-Man 978, T-Man 978 everywhere.
And you're getting pretty close to 12,000 subscribers. Oh, you know, you're in the ballpark for 12,000 subs.
You know what? I haven't been paying attention.
Yeah, you're 11,290.
Sweet. Yes, I am smashing this cream pie.
God, that needs to be an audio clip. I'm exporting that audio clip. Every show will open with that.
Hey, Jordan, where can we find you?
Well, aside from here, every Thursday night at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Pacific Time. You can find me in the Facebook groups as James Jordan. You can find me on Xbox Live on the PlayStation Network as Extra Zero. All one word on PlayStation Network, 2 words, Extra Space Zero on Xbox Live. You can find me on Twitter at The Original Zero. You can also find me on Instagram as Extra Zero. And that is about it. I would say my Nintendo Switch Online, but I don't know my friend code off the top of my head. So
we're actually approaching 300 subscribers too.
We are.
Wants to give us a little boost.
We are. So,
and like this video while you're at it.
We are Figure Action. So if you aren't already subscribed and you like what you saw tonight, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like button because that helps us out a lot, and the notification bell so you can see when we're putting out new content. And that's going to do it for this show. Appreciate everybody that dropped by to hang out in the chat. We'll see you all again next week. And hope everybody has a good one. I'm looking at that creepy Arnold face.
No.
Hit the end the live button. Come on, do it now.